Okay, it is 6:05 according to my computer on Tuesday, January 3rd of 2023. I'll call this meeting of GenGov to order. Councillor Reedus, you are here. And Ms. Clements.
Present.
Ms. Shea.
Present.
And I am here. And no idea from have either of you heard from Jackie?
I've just seen a couple things on Facebook that said she was alive and her puppy's cute.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's a good thing. Hey, John.
John?
Okay, anyway, item number 3 is the consider and accept GenGov minutes of August 15th, which I did send out to everybody. I think that one and one of the other ones had been sent out previously. There was at least 2 that I sent out previously, and I sent a whole batch of them this afternoon to make sure they're all in one place. So if you've had a chance to read them, any comments, questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any questions or corrections? No. Okay. All those in favor? Okay. Item number 2 is the minutes of September 12th, which I know I sent out this afternoon. And as you can see, I very much summarized the drone bylaw discussion rather than getting into a lot of direct votes and stuff like that. So.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Okay.
Second.
Any corrections or anything?
That's all right.
What goes up must come down.
What was that again?
I said what goes up must come down.
Usual.
That summed up the
Pretty much.
drone bylaws.
Oh,
Right.
come on, now I say that every year with the decorations.
Well, this is true too.
Put
All those in favor? Okay. Number 3 is November 1st. This way. That one I know I sent quite a while ago.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay.
Second.
Any corrections? All those in favor? And last but not least, November 30th. Anybody?
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Well, then, yes.
Go ahead.
I was waiting for you to ask for discussion. The only thing is, I really wish you had put more information in under the number 9, the appropriate, the 200,000 for town facilities. I feel like you summarized way too briefly for the amount of conversation that was held on spending that $210,000. Or $200,000, I should say. I feel like it got all condensed, and I wouldn't know it verbatim at this point, but I just know there was an awful lot of conversation back and forth about the different reasoning for spending the money or not spending the money, and especially the idea of returning taxpayers 14 cents per 100,000, which equated to a very small amount for a tax. But anyway,
Okay.
that's all passed. So, but I'm just saying, I think when it's something that important, I think that there just needs to be a little more detail in the minute taking, regardless. So,
Okay.
for the future.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay. So what do you want to do with it?
Oh, that was all. That was just my point. I'm just making a point.
Okay.
So you can take it or leave it, but I'm making a point
Okay.
for the public to know. Okay.
All those in favor?
That-
The meeting is on.
I was just going to say, it's been
Yeah,
recorded,
it is.
so I know it's
Yeah,
out there.
it's out
I
there.
just, again, for permanent record keeping, when you go back to look at something, if it's not been, a couple things happen. You know, you amend it, or sometimes you say, oh, we
Yeah.
vote to amend we vote to accept as amended, and then sometimes things don't get put in, and then if you don't review it, and there are a lot of things that happen in
does happen.
minutes.
That is true.
And I know from my own personal experience of going back to look at something, I'm like, well, that's not what the end result was supposed to be, but it's not reflected in minutes. And
Sometimes.
you might be able to find the video, you might not, just saying.
Right.
Just so I'm asking for future
Okay.
procedure to maybe, and to get minutes to us minimum of 24 hours, because not all of us get to that email on the day of. So I would prefer a minimum of 24 hours on our minutes
Okay.
if we're going to actually approve them.
Item number 7 is discuss and review transfer of $463 from the insurance premium IOD to insurance premiums of school. And this is, I guess this is are you, Mr. Manager?
Well, I'm here, I guess I can address, Ms. Harmon said this was needed to cover the changes that were made by adding additional equipment to be insured on the school side. So they don't have enough money, so they're looking to just cover that.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Martina?
Why don't we have enough money?
Well, all I have is the information here. I was told it was forthcoming, but oftentimes you budget to a certain amount, and it looks like they added 2 additional vehicles.
Okay, so this is the town side's money, not the school side's money.
Our treasurer's office has typically paid for all the insurance.
Insurance, okay. All right. I understand the needing to move from one account to the other. I just
Okay.
like to ask the school questions.
Yeah, to follow up on that, did they buy new vehicles, or did they get vehicles from some other department, or what?
I do not have that answer. I thought of that
Or it
after the
costs a
fact.
lot.
These are both listed as 2020 Ford 350s, and I could speculate as to what happened, but oftentimes, much like our ambulances, when we order them, it takes a while if they're customized, and sometimes we buy vehicles that are a year old to save money.
Mm-hmm.
Those are plausible explanations, but I don't have the example.
Well, isn't it possible that there was an adjustment to the premium in some way, shape, or form? They added a piece of equipment to it, they added a plow, they added something, isn't that, I mean, that's not a very big, 463 isn't a lot of money, so it's not
No.
like a new premium, so.
True.
But it would be nice, if they expect us to pay for stuff, they should expect to have some answers. Somebody
Exactly.
should give us some backup material, unless it's here that I don't see. Is it here that
I
I
can
don't see?
ask for additional backup
Hang on.
information for the town council meeting.
Okay.
Let's see, 463, yeah, it just shows the transfer request, that's it. And it's just to cover additional equipment premiums. That's all it says, so.
Mhm.
You got a contract changes in the back. There's one more page now.
Oh, there we go, yep, okay. Sorry, again, I didn't get a packet printed out, so let's see. Replacement costs, deductible, 2004. I understood. Oh, I know, right, yeah, thank you. So I can actually see. Deductible, replacement cost, value, yeah,
It's one vehicle.
right.
That's
Yep.
what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
Item
it looks
number 2024 F350.
One's property, one's liability.
Okay, so yeah. But,
So two changes.
valuation, it just shows that there was a contract change on it. Additional contribution due. This one's 282.
Well, it does
And the other's
specifically say-
219, that's why.
Well,
There's two
specific-
vehicles.
yeah, it specifically says the following vehicle has been added to the policy, so.
Oh, okay, wait a minute, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep, yep, yep.
They're the same.
It's the same one. So it's been added. Interesting, okay. Well, maybe they've already used one too, you never know.
Now, are those the vehicles they use for maintenance? Is that what?
It just looks like it's been added, so did they add? I guess it'd be nice to know. Was this a
No.
new, is this a completely new policy then that we have to, we have to worry about paying for yearly or,
Research.
that would be great, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Or at least council's gonna ask the same questions, I imagine.
Right.
So,
Understood.
So,
and we're gonna pay the insurance if there's a change.
Go ahead, Dave.
hey, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, the 2 pages, there's different typos here. Valuation type is replacement cost, same thing on the second page. I say the 3rd page. And then under that, under the 3rd page, it says medical pay limit 5,000. I'm not sure that makes any big difference.
Just two different coverages.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
Property
like.
and all, like you said, Mike.
The insurance,
That was liability.
It's not liability.
So one is the vehicle gets damaged.
No, it's
That's
property.
usually the property what they're
Right.
replacing. And the other one's a liability when you hit somebody or something.
Right, right.
right, and just additional contributions. Additional
One vehicle.
contribution.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
I thought that was, not as high as my insurance, but for one vehicle out of the whole fleet, they must have one huge insurance.
They-
package.
oh, the
Yeah,
town
that's
does, yeah.
actually,
Absolutely.
that's, depending on what the coverage is, that's not bad.
Well, if it's a replacement vehicle, then it would be this much more, like $500, $463 more than your old truck.
So there's one of the questions,
Which is about 35, yeah.
did this vehicle replace one? Did they retire one? Or is this in addition?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is
I
it
know.
just a premium change? I guess there's 3 questions, right? Did it replace something? Is it new only? And is it just a premium change because premiums went up? I don't know, just,
I don't know why, I don't know where it could change.
right,
This one was really old, got rid of it.
right, that's what I'm
Big
wondering.
difference.
Could be, yeah.
Right, but we're always asking that question, aren't we? For
Right.
years, it's always like, well, we got a new vehicle, it costs us, did we add to our insurances or did we just swap? Did we just get something newer which costs a little more but yet is just replacing something we had? Or did we add an addition again? Because people, I know that councils at times have gotten quite testy over the fact of more vehicles, right? More police, more fire, more everything, so just, all in all, we just need an answer. I would think somebody needs an answer as to why,
Right.
what this means, that's
Okay.
all. It's simple.
Oh, and also, I noticed that
It's gotta be paid, so
I
I'll
noticed
make a
that you-
motion to pay it.
if you add, but I noticed that the number on the agenda it says 463, but if you add those 2 premiums together, it's 501.
Well, maybe they had some money.
But they're only asking for 463, so
That's what they're
they
getting.
may have.
That's what they're getting.
Maybe that 50
Another transfer, next meeting.
bucks, it'll come.
But you're doing it little bits.
Well, we can always, if there is a difference, we can always
At the
amend the town
meeting.
council meeting.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to recommend the council approve the transfer request.
Second.
Okay. Any further questions? All those in favor? Okay. Item number 8. Give me my agenda here. Discuss and review request to accept a donation from Hyde Charitable Dexter Russell Charitable Foundation in the amount of $1,000. So I assume you're recusing on this one?
No, actually, I wouldn't need to recuse because it's for the benefit of the town. It's not for my personal benefit.
Okay.
So, just saying. And it's
it's-
well known and well
It
documented
is well known,
that
yes,
I'm
I agree.
affiliated in some way, shape, or
That is
form.
true, that's why I
But
asked.
I don't make this money and I don't put this money in this trust fund.
And it's not coming out of her
And I don't
pocket.
vote to give this money to the town,
Okay,
your personal side.
okay, that's fine.
And it goes to the benefit of the whole community.
Okay. So anyway, are there comments or questions on this?
No, I just want to thank everybody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank them for donating the money to the vault. It's a
Yeah.
good cause.
I will. I gotta send a letter.
Can you pass that word?
I generally send a letter. To anybody who, whether they're giving us coffee or giving us, cocoa and cookies, they get some sort of letter from the town. We try to be very cognizant of the generosity that surrounds trying to get this done. So this will help pay for more plywood. That's a big one this year, so we can make some more penguins. Anybody check the cost of plywood these days?
It's gone up.
Oh, I
that's
know.
sure.
Plywood paint, my gosh, we were paying $20 a quart. It was like crazy paint. Paint is expensive.
I just love them. Every time I drive downtown,
Yeah,
I'm like a little kid.
yeah.
Well, there's always room for you to play in our workshop. Anybody else there who would like to pick up a paintbrush or a hammer or knows how to use a saw is welcome to.
Yeah, see, the skill set's starting to go bad there.
Hey, let me tell you, if I can do
It gets
things,
old after a
anybody
while,
can do. If Gus can paint something, trust me.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Speaking of that, when's the takedown day?
Officially Saturday.
Saturday.
Well, as you might have noticed, if anybody might have noticed before the rain came, we went out 3 days. We went out Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Small band, 3 here, 6 there, 4, whatever. A few of us, and managed to get all the main done.
Oh, okay.
And then, so we have Saturday. We should be able to complete. There's a lot of the big stuff, obviously, but we should be able to complete Dresser, Rotary, and the Common. That's the goal. Is Saturday.
Okay.
From 10 o'clock. We'll probably be there before 10, but 10 o'clock is what. I know the school is pushing to try to get some of the youth to participate. So
okay.
Jason,
Cool.
the athletic
Good.
director person there, is he's been pushing. So we'll see who shows up. But we could use some trucks and we could use hands.
Okay.
So anybody interested, and the usual. A little bit of water on site and some sort of lunch, probably some pizza for those who stick it through, and let's get it done.
Has anybody made a motion yet?
No.
I move to accept the $1,000 from the Hyde Dexter Russell Charitable Foundation in the amount of $1,000 for the Southbridge Holiday Visions.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Item number 9 is to discuss and review amendment to standard operating procedure number 15, capital expenditure policy. Is that something down your way there, Mr. Manager?
Actually, it was something that I asked.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
Councilman.
You would care to?
Well, when we had our ad hoc capital planning committee, we made recommendations, and one of the recommendations was to change our list of assets in town to $10,000 or more and a useful life of 3 years or more, or 5 years or more. We did that because we were going by the state's guidelines. Many communities in the Commonwealth all go 5-year useful life, and I think a lot of businesses do 5 years. So that's why we recommended to change it to 5 years. So then the current capital planning committee, Karen Harnois pulled out the policy that goes back to San Angelo, and it was still 3 years, and I realized we had never changed it on the council. So I asked that this be put forward and let the council decide whether they want to change it or not. It was our recommendation to change it, but of course it's up to the council.
Right.
And I thought it was 5. I remember when we had discussions years ago. Now I'm trying to remember how many years back. And it's funny, I swear I just saw some notes in one of my files on something. But I thought we had gone 10-5, which is odd that it's not been changed. Again, one of those things. Sometimes you never know what gets written, not written, and then where's the backup on it.
I don't remember doing the 10-5. I've always remembered it as 10-3.
I thought it was 10-5.
But it could have been.
To me, not knowing a lot about finances and stuff, it just seems to me that 3 years would be kind of expensive if you're changing things every 3 years. Whereas 5 years, probably that's why they recommend 5 years, although maybe Ms. Clemens would know more about those things than I would.
Not at all.
Working at the Hyde manufacturer.
I'm not sure how they define it there, honestly. We haven't, I know there's depreciation situations, but as far as the...
Right.
A lot of times within 3 years, your depreciation, as you know, with your own vehicle, when you go to excise day, suddenly, boom, you're like, wait a minute, I paid a lot of money. And You know, the minute you drove away, it was already
It dropped off,
$10,000 down.
10,000
So,
down. Exactly.
but yeah, I'm not sure the number.
Not anymore, though, you get a lot of money for use.
Well, I'm keeping mine.
Right, exactly.
Anyways, that was our recommendation, so I asked.
Do we have any idea how many items that would affect?
We are starting a list now. Karen Harnois is putting together an inventory list, so I'm not sure exactly how many items that affects, but it's quite a large file, so
Yeah, I'm sure enough.
it's in our Munis system. You can ask that question.
Yeah.
Just one more question on that, since you're discussing all that. Is it an and or is it an and? Because, you know, there's the 5 years, capital item, you know, is gonna last 5 years, but does it have, so it has to be over 10,000 with 5 years?
And
Or how are you and 5? So,
And useful life of 5 years.
so what if it's 10,000 but the useful life isn't 5 years? Because
Well,
sometimes,
we want to make it 5 years, so that's what we want to change it to. So
Right.
we would recommend that.
so it's not a,
Any
so if,
item that you want to put on capital would be $10,000 or more and a useful life of 5 years. Now, if it's less than that, that would probably be a budgeted item.
okay, all right, that's what I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm reading.
About $10,000 worth of printer paper, but it's,
Well, it's not a
Oh,
capital.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
that's,
Although
not a
someone
capital.
did say that you might want to make a difference on computer equipment, because that,
mhm.
a computer
5
equipment
years is,
doesn't last 5 years.
right,
Well, it can. if you
We
take
didn't
care
make
of
that
it.
recommendation, but of course, like I said, it's up to the council, whatever you want to do.
have you pulled out the, I mean, you said Karen researched the state, so, this is a whole different set, we're off this topic, I guess, but, did Karen, do you have the language from, like, what the state's definition is? Okay. So just saying whether,
If you want to look at
no, just curious. Good. Okay, I'm
Okay.
satisfied.
it.
oh, I did have one question.
Okay.
Is this going to be the same for the school department?
Right, yeah. Because
Town.
the town owns everything.
That's true.
School
Right.
buildings, it's all on the town.
Right, that makes sense.
So does the state language make an exception for, like, computer?
I didn't see it, but it was a suggestion someone made, that you might want to make a difference
Yeah,
on computer
makes
equipment.
sense.
If
Are
you
there
wanted
any,
to do that, I don't have no problem with it.
are there any other things that we might want to make an exception for?
I can't think of it. Vehicles all should last at least, have a useful life of at least 5 years.
We should,
Some of
yeah.
our vehicles are lasting 20 years.
Some have been still turned 4 years ago. We should have been taken out and buried 4 years ago.
Computers are the only ones, IT, computer.
Well, you're
it's the only thing that I
saying
can-
useful life, and I don't think anyone would say that a computer had a useful life of 5 years.
It depends on how you use it.
Well, the
I
software.
mean, this laptop goes back to like 2016.
Yeah, but you're not 10 years old and in the
That's true.
school department.
I have computers that, after a certain time, they don't work anymore. You can't
Sometimes
go
that's true.
online with
You
them,
can't,
do
you
whatever.
can't buy software or,
You don't get the updates anymore. That's the big
Eventually,
thing.
maybe.
Right, because then if you're blocking yourself into, if you're saying you can't use a capital fund to replace laptops or something, you'd be concerned because it's not a 5-year useful life. But if they do technology as a exclusion or maybe an
Oh, okay,
asterisk with
yeah,
a
I understand that.
exclusion technology or something like that, maybe that could work, I don't know.
Well,
Something
we-
to think about
I
in
mean,
your
if you know,
final process.
when we bought the school's Chromebooks, we did it as a capital purchase.
Right, I understand that, that's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking in my
that's
head.
what she
Which
said.
it might be, there could be a reasoning for that 3 years still hanging out. It could have been that we talked about some of that stuff.
Could have been.
And that's how we ended up with it, but, I mean,
Yeah, I do think like having an just technology in general,
Right.
so that you,
IT.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, yeah, but the leasing too. I think it was leased, wasn't it, Denise?
I believe it was,
Chromes,
yeah.
they might have
Yeah,
been
at
on
least
that
maybe that's
respect,
a-
yeah. So it wasn't but it was it was still a capital expense, and it wasn't the last 3 years, so, I mean, it wasn't the last 5, rather. So I don't know. That's something to think about as you do that. Are you looking to get that on the agenda, like now, to get it approved? Or are you gonna wait until you're fully, since there's no asterisk to this, since there's no exclusionary or parameter to this besides what it says here, are you looking,
Well, you can make an amendment here.
right, well, yeah, but it's not
Sure.
our committee, I mean, you guys are the ones doing the research on it, I don't wanna usurp your,
No, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Your
Like I
thought
said, That was
process.
a suggestion during our committee meeting, so I didn't have a problem with changing that. We
Right.
just never put that in there.
Right.
So-
I don't have a problem with it either way, but.
Well, then I'm gonna ask this, rather than being too fast forward, is it something that your committee should, do you need it done instantly, like within this next realm? Or should you wait until it's officially like, geez, these are some questions they had? Is there anything else we want? If not, it stands the way it is? Or should we go back with them and say, we're gonna tweak it a little bit to make sure we're absolutely, this is what we want? And then I'd say to wait on this and just till the next meeting or something.
Because I think-
I don't wanna put him off if he needs it, that's,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
but if they feel there's some change.
I think we're working on the capital planning right now.
Mhm.
Right.
So.
You'll
depart-
wanna.
Department heads are coming to us now,
Mhm.
because aren't we going to be working on the budget pretty soon? aren't we?
Right.
Pretty soon.
Right.
So we
Some
might
days.
wanna get.
It's the first of the year.
Right, so it needs to get done,
Right.
but can it wait one meeting, or should you have any other questions or not? I mean, it doesn't feel like it's, and I'm not so sure we should make that decision for the committee, if the committee's got something in mind. If-
Well, the committee, the ad hoc committee recommended it.
Right,
It's really up to the town council. So if the
Right.
town council wants to tweak it, I have no problem with it.
Are you foreseeing any other changes to capital policy besides this particular one?
Well, we made the change to the charter
Mhm.
for a 5-year capital plan.
Right.
Which has not gone to the ballot yet.
Well, obviously.
So that's one
Yeah,
change we
right.
made. And this was the other change we made. But somehow it just got lost. I didn't realize that
Mhm.
we hadn't changed it at the council level.
well, this is just a standing operating procedure, so this can be
Right.
changed. That's one of the reasons you don't put certain things into charters, because you can't,
Right.
it's not as fluid. A
Right.
charter's supposed to be your broad picture, and your little things, which aren't little, but your standing operating procedures or your rules and regs or those are things that they kind of ebb and flow into the,
Right.
you try not to move them too much, but if you gotta, and you can. Whereas the charter's just the structure to make sure we fall within. But anyway, I don't know.
Dave?
My only recommendation is just the next meeting after this, February 13th. Yeah, I'm sure that at that point in time, you'll start working on the budget by then, but, for that area. Maybe just wait until the 13th and just in case you have anything else or you want a better definition of what it looks like.
All right.
But it's up to you guys on how you want to proceed.
Right,
I'll
I'm
support it
confused.
if you
It's
do.
only the 3rd of January, so I'm
Right.
confused. Next,
Oh, yeah, on the 23rd of January, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Getting way ahead of myself.
oh yeah, I'm like, you're in February. What
Sorry.
happened in January?
my mechanism in my head.
Okay.
That's
Uh,
fine.
That's
I
okay.
don't have a problem with it. You wanna postpone the meeting.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me either way. I mean, I have I don't think we have a general problem with making the change itself.
Oh, no, not at all.
So you just want to do it once.
Right.
And you also, if you can come up with the right thing, it doesn't take a half an hour or 45 minutes for one agenda item up at council meeting. Like when everybody gets, 9 people are, they should be here right now kind of tweaking it so that when you get up there, it's kind of a no-brainer. But you got a few.
I don't see.
I think it's a good cause, though.
Yeah, you got a group out there, so.
Do you have any comments on that one there, John?
I like the agenda item itself. I have no problem with it. I think Councilor McKay has done a good job, very good job with his ad hoc committee and keeping track of things. So I have no problem with this. If the committee wishes to wait, I don't have a problem with that either.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it right and do it once.
Right.
Okay.
I would say you just address that technology maybe, or
It's-
anything else you might, now that we said that, is there anything else that falls within a weird, Karen might even think more on that kind of thing
Right.
too,
Right.
because she's the one who deals with paying all these things, so she might
It's
say,
a
oh, wait,
it's a big ticket item.
yeah.
Yeah, or even looking at the list that she's putting together of what equipment is going to be affected, and then thinking about whether there's other things to add.
Right.
Okay.
Unless the TM's got something on that idea of things in terms of large cost item type stuff that falls off the fringes of the 10 and the 5, or
Nothing that you can think of? Okay.
Motion to postpone?
yeah, I would say till the next meeting.
Okay.
We can set it.
Is that a
date
second?
specific. Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay.
And encourage input.
Okay. Any further comments on the motion to postpone? All those in favor? Okay. Okay. And motion to adjourn.
Is there anything else coming up before we do that?
I thought that's it.
No, I meant not on the agenda, but like, is there anything coming up in the next week? Should we be looking at a date? Should
Do
we be
need one?
thinking? I don't know,
What
that's
do you think?
besides
Do we
this
need
item.
anything?
Well,
Mr. Manager, do you see anything coming down the pike that GenGov's going to need to do in the near future?
next week or two.
I think the Fire Station Building Committee, they had something in mind, but I think they're waiting on it. They were looking at a capital program, much like Charlton did for some communities have put together a program where you can raise money in the community. There was something that was talked about, but I think it's on hold right now. I don't think if there was anything else.
Any contract stuff, any, huge stuff?
Not just yet.
All right, then I guess we can.
Okay. And the only thing I can think of is that reading through those minutes, we did say we were going to throw the drone to January,
All right.
but
Well, once we come
I
up with something.
personally haven't seen anything
No
that
one's-
jumps out at me about it. So.
All right.
So the only thing in terms of contracts, our sewer IMA with Sturbridge is coming to an end, and they want to extend, but only for 5 years, they told me, for right now, because they're still trying to decide what they're doing. They said they were going to send me a proposal. I've mentioned that at council, I think, twice now.
Mm-hmm.
They still haven't seen anything, but they said they would send us a draft. That's the only thing I can think of on the horizon outside of the norm in terms of contracts.
Okay.
So we'll wait a couple weeks, whatever, and then see what else pops up and get
Right.
it in.
Okay.
Get this one back on.
Good enough.
So, that's it. That was the only thing. I was just making sure in case we needed to set something up.
Right.
Set
Right.
it
Yeah, I'm
down
not aware
while
of
we're
anything
all
else either.
together.
I haven't heard anything from Hannah that we have to do soon. So.
Then I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
All in favor?
Let's go.
It was like second, third.
We were all
We
ready
did the
to do
wave.
that.